Hello, welcome. My name is Tracy. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in Australia. Thank you so much for joining me today. All this month for May, we are casing from the Annual Catalogue. As you know, the Annual Catalogue is retiring very soon. We do have a new catalogue coming out, and so I've decided to choose some cards and stamp sets that were very popular when the catalogue first came out, and I haven't seen too much from these stamp sets lately, so I thought it would be nice to bring them back and just show you what's still in the catalogue and what's still available. So for today's card, we are going to page 162, 163. It's using the Woodwords stamp set. So this one is one that's paired with the wood crate die. And 163, this is where the card is. It's this one up here. Now, as you can see, these cards have been made to fit into that crate die. So these are 3x3 cards. We're not making a 3x3 card today. I decided I was going to make a normal size Australian card, so I've just made it in the bigger version, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. So let's go over to the craft table and we'll get started. The supplies needed for this card are the Woodwords stamp set as well as the wood crate framelits. I have the rectangle stitched framelit dies, and I have the second and fourth largest framelit. The inks are Calypso Coral, Blushing Bride, Coastal Cabana and Crumb Cake. I have the classic label punch for the sentiment. And the last thing for the card is linen thread. I have my card kit here all ready to go, and it's a pretty simple card kit, but all the measurements and supplies can be found over my blog, and that's in the description of this video. There's also a link to my online store where you can purchase all your Stampin' Up supplies if you live in Australia. I have Inky rewards as a customer bonus to my customers, but pop in that post-test code for this month and I'll send you out a free gift on top. Okay, so we have Coastal Cabana card base. We have the Wood Textures Designer Series paper and also a piece of Whisper White. So I've already folded, and I'm just going to score that card base in half. It is a piece of A4 cut in half and then scored in half. We're going to take the Coastal Cabana ink and we're going to stamp this stamp here, which is all flowers, just on the edges. So I have my mat in here as well, just so it stamps off the edge. And we're going to stamp just around the card. We're also going to bring in that piece of Whisper White, and I want to stamp the sentiment in Crumb Cake. And we're going to do Blushing Bride Heart. I'm going to bring this one in again, and I'm just going to clean it off pretty quickly because we're going to go in with the Coastal Cabana ink, because we want one of these little flowers here. If I grab flower there, there we go, and we can fussy cut that little flower. So I might do that quickly before we bring the big shot in and do our die cutting. So I'll fussy cut this little flower, and we're also going to bring that classic label punch in and punch that sentiment. So it really doesn't take long to fussy cut that little gorgeous flower. Punch in for the sentiment. I'm just going to quickly cut that end off, and I'm going to leave that one there because it's being hidden under the heart anyway. So now we can bring in the big shot. We're going going to cut not only our heart, but then we're going to cut the Woodwords Design Series paper and give us our little border around the edge. So here's our heart die. I'm going to line up these rectangles stitched so we have a nice even border all the way around. That's good. There we go, so we have a great little border here, but then we also have another piece of the Designer Series paper that can be used on another card. So we've got all our pieces all done. We're going to lay this one down and we're going to pop some dimensionals on the back. So it's going to be nicely popped up. I'm just going to put one on each corner. I'm also just taking the edge piece. I want to put some edges down the side just so we have good stability. The Designer Series paper is quite thin and we want it to be able to hold together really well. So top and bottom as well. Taking those backings off, and then we're just going to place that straight down onto the Coastal Cabana card base. And I really like these colours together, the Coastal Cabana, Crumb Cake, Calypso Coral and Blushing Bride. They work quite well together. Oh, there we go. So let's line that up. Now sentiment we're going to just glue down with some multi-purpose glue. And to place that in. Just like that. Hopefully that's in the right spot. Yep, that looks good. So on the right hand side of our heart we're going to place a dimensional. So it's going to be popped up on the right hand side, and then on the left hand side we're going to pop a little bit of glue. So I've taken that backing off already. Placing it down. Perfect. Now I'm going to put a mini dimensional on the back of that little flower, so we only need a little spot one. I'm going to pop that one up. Whoop. On the edge there, just like that. Create a gorgeous double bow with our linen thread. So I'm just going to double knot to create that bow. Pretty easy. Now, cut off those tails a little, and the glue dots work really well with linen thread. So I'm going to use my piercing tool to fold a glue dot over a little bit. And just like that. Yep, hang on, we'll get in camera, in focus, there we go. And I'm just going to place that little glue piece down underneath that heart, and that's where we're going to place our bow. Very cute. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed today's card. If you have, please give me a thumbs up, and I'd love it if you left me a comment. All the measurements and supplies can be found over my blog, and there's also links in this video for my online store if you live in Australia and you're after any Stampin' Up products. I'd love to be a demonstrator. Okay, until next time, I'll see you hopefully all again on Thursday. Until then, have a great day. Bye.